Hey there, I'm Dave Wagner. Welcome to another episode of
Come On Down.
This is Rich Fields right here. You may recognize
Dave
him.
Wagner right there.
Yeah, the dude. This is a podcast about
love that.
Rich's time in Hollywood. You know, he was the announcer with Drew Carey and Bob Barker, of course, on The Price is Right. But you're a veteran of the game show industry. How many game shows?
8 total.
8 total game shows.
Yep.
So,
excuse me, I'm sorry, 9 total, 8 others.
okay, so Price is Right and a whole bunch of others. We'll
Wheel
talk
of Fortune,
about those.
yep.
We'll talk about that. So Rich has lent his voice to game shows. So this is a podcast about bells, buzzers, really anything game show related. And
right.
Rich has a lot of insight. We love this. It's so insane what goes on behind the scenes, particularly your life, which evolved from essentially a life of crime to a legitimate job on the. And I say that jokingly.
That's exactly right. It's true, though. I mean, it was a nefarious path.
It worked for you, though.
Sometimes you got to, skirt the edges of legality to get things done.
You didn't get caught, so apparently
exactly.
You weren't charged with anything.
It worked out.
Yeah. Last time we were talking, you had some pictures, and you brought those today. Things we talked about last week.
Yeah. I had mentioned previously that about the big poster in Charlie O'Donnell's dressing room, the Wheel of Fortune poster. And after the first show, I took it right into Pat and Vanna and had him autograph it. It's all framed and in glass and on the wall, but I brought a photograph of that.
Oh, how cool.
And there it is right there. And I know it might be hard to make out on your computer screen, but Vanna said, "To Rich, it's nice working with you," with a heart, and Vanna and Pat wrote, "Nice job, Rich!" Exclamation point. Pat Sajak.
Well, they look like babies, don't they?
So yeah, I know, really young, and they probably still use the same one. I do.
we just airbrush ours.
I do. That's for sure. I also brought another picture that a photograph of something that we talked about previously. Now I know you have never seen the podium in my office at home.
Haven't.
But that's it right there.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's pretty big.
It's yeah. It is pretty big, and getting it out of the dumpster was something else, man. I'll tell you what.
For those of you who don't remember this or didn't hear it, so Rich, minutes before the start of
a show taping, Rich goes out to the dumpster, discovers that this podium is in there, and has to have it because Rich is the keeper of everything. You could call him the. I am the keeper of things.
Yeah, I'm the keeper of crap.
I like. All right, for you, we're going to get a sign that says "the dude," and mine's going to say "keeper of crap." You watch. Viewers will send us something. I guarantee you, somebody will artwork that off.
No, and it's not. Anybody would love to have this because it's so. So, is this essentially sort of a wooden box with a monitor in there? What is it?
Yeah, it's exactly that. Exactly that. You can see maybe the little light for a copy, the little copy area to the left of the monitor there. A little space down below for Kleenex.
Sure.
It was so cold in there. I don't know about you. When I get in a cold area, my nose starts running like you wouldn't believe.
Sure.
I was forever blowing my nose.
Right, and Rich gets very emotional and need the tissues.
Not then, no. Only in my old age do I get emotional.
Maybe when you left,
but that's about it. But anyway, that's the one at home. And folks that are watching who know the show, they can see the telltale signs of the ribs, see the ribs on there.
Yeah.
That's Johnny Olson's old podium, Roddy's old podium,
cool.
My old podium. So.
And now your podium, you own it.
Yeah.
That is great. How many years do you think that was in operation, that podium?
34.
Wow.
Before they changed it out?
Do you still have the monitor in there?
Yes.
Do you ever just stand behind it
at
night and pretend to be...
Well, that picture's not from the studio, Dave. That's from my office.
Your poor wife. Hi, I'm Rich Fields.
It looks damn near like that, okay? It's really close.
Come on down to my office.
Different curtains, but more updated curtains, but anyway, so that's the podium. I just wanted you to see that. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
The last photo I wanted to show you is of the covering. Somebody said, "Oh, I wish I had one of the original green coverings."
You don't have one of those, do you?
I do not. Okay. And Roger, no matter what you think, it was not the one that stole one. Remember I said one of them was missing? I went to get one to ask them if I could have it.
Of course you did.
And they said, "Oh, wait, one's already missing and gone." But these are the well, I don't even know what they use now because it's pandemic staging now.
Yes.
But these were the replacements for the old green ones that everybody wished they could have.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you never really see these except for the opening of the show because normally there's people sitting there or people standing in front of them, so you never really see them. But
Yeah,
but,
how cool.
But
So these are the 4 contestants, correct?
Correct. These are the 4 contestant seats when they sit down when somebody else is playing a game or during commercial time. And if you look real close, Dave, you can see how it's just felt with Velcro on it that's pulled back up under the seat. I mean, it's really
Things are so simple, but
simple.
they look good on TV.
I almost used the word cheap, but I'm sure it wasn't. I'm sure some prop house in Hollywood got paid a mint to make those, but nonetheless, those are the originals. The
I love it.
seat
I love
covers.
it.
So I just wanted to catch you up with some of the stuff we talk about. And, oh, and by the way, all the corrections online, you're right. You guys are right. I mean, we corrected the Peter Marshall being dead right away. My bad. I just get confused. I get so excited to get on the air with you guys. I forget what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I mean, we do have a guy who sits over here.
Tish.
He's not sitting there right now, but Tish knows all this stuff.
We
too.
feel lost without him there.
And when we leave the air, he'll say, "Okay,
Fantastic
this was
producer.
not right. This was not right. This was not right. This was not right." So he corrects us.
So a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
a lot of stuff. Monty is not spelled with an I; it's spelled with a Y.
Right.
That's the intern. We're blaming that on the intern.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Let's blame everything on them. The poor people who barely get paid, if at all.
Right. Exactly.
You look at the set of The Price is Right, and we talk about it looking kind of, I don't want to say it looks cheap, but it is definitely made for TV.
Yeah.
There are so many moving parts in this studio, and things don't always go real smoothly.
They do not.
I want you to talk, if you can, because I think this is an interesting story about Drew Carey. Things did not get off to exactly what you would call a smooth start for Drew Carey.
Oh, no, they did not. I think I told you that, after this, CBS execs pulled me in upstairs and they said, you're not getting a shot as the host. Right. We had a hard enough time finding you, the new voice. We're not going through that again. You're not going to get a shot as the host. Summer hiatus comes on, reruns are on, and I got a phone call from Drew Carey. And that was the first inkling I ever had that they had found a new host. I knew we had a bunch of auditions with a lot of people, Mario Lopez and George Hamilton, and I just can't even remember them all.
Sure.
A lot of people.
Well-known people who've been successful in,
some were.
Television, movies, and comedy.
Some were A-list Hollywood celebrities, and then some were as far down as C or what I would say D. People you've never seen before.
No kidding.
New talent that, hey, well, let's give it a try. Let's try somebody.
You never know.
You never know.
Yeah.
But those folks didn't pan out.
Right.
But I got a phone call from Drew Carey, and I think the timestamp on the recording is going to tell us about it.
Huh.
But I'm going to play you a phone call.
We'll listen here on our
and then again, remember, Drew knew he was leaving a message. So as far as the lawyers are concerned, this is okay to play. So here we go. You guys ready?
First saved message sent Monday, August 6th at 12.
August 6th.
p.m.
Hey, Rich, it's Drew Carey calling. How are you? Hey, I'm sorry I missed you. I wanted to say hello in person. Hope I get to see you soon. I'm rehearsing, Friday and next Monday and Tuesday, so hopefully I'll see you then. And I'm looking forward to working with you, man. Maybe we can head out to lunch one day and just shoot the shit, talk to the Browns or something like that. Anyway, hope you're doing good, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
So that was my first inclination that we had found a host.
You did not know?
No clue.
So that message was telling you that Drew Carey was going to be the host?
What was the timestamp, like August 6th?
Yeah.
So we'd been through most of summer. We're almost getting ready to tape the new season.
With all these different people, or just with Drew?
Well, we're on summer hiatus. We have no contact with the show. Nobody.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So we had all those auditions prior.
We had all those auditions
Gotcha.
when Bob was still hosting. We'd get done taping shows with Bob, and we would tape a third show, fake show, with a fake audience, and that would be the person's audition show.
Oh, okay.
So we did that for months. Huh. Yeah, going through different people. And
I'm surprised nobody told you, hey, by the way, Rich, Drew Carey's our guy.
Me too. Maybe in that discussion, maybe Drew said, hey, can I call him?
Sure.
Because
Makes
obviously they gave him my phone number, right?
It was a nice of him to call.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And so that was, as I mentioned, that was my first inclination that Drew Carey was going to be the host of The Price is Right. And as he said, hey, I'm going to be rehearsing Friday. We're always off on Thursdays and Fridays. And then again Monday and Tuesday, normally taping days.
Right.
So it looks like they're taking 3 days to rehearse with Drew Carey. And I didn't even know about the rehearsals yet. So the day after this phone call, I get a phone call from Roger or Kathy Greco, I can't remember who, and saying, hey.
Roger, the producer.
Yeah. We understand Drew Carey's called you, you know, he's the new host. Yeah. We need you for rehearsal Friday. And everybody, the entire cast and crew came in on a day off. You know, everybody's obviously getting show pay to come in. And it was just like walking into the studio any other day, you know. Everybody's ready to go. And
Is it, who are we looking at?
well, there's Roger in the brown jacket with his back to us.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler, the director Adam Sandler, not the comedian.
Okay.
We've got a couple camera guys and some folks just hanging out, just, you know, PAs, production assistants and stuff like that. And so I walk in, it's just a normal day. I see the set looks normal still, you know. And then all of a sudden, you know, I look up from looking at my copy and bam, there's Drew Carey standing there right at the edge of the stage.
Wow.
And he's actually talking to some girls there in the second row who are also production assistants and so on and so forth. Who are going to be pretend contestants today on Drew's audition shows, or not auditions, but just rehearsal shows.
Yeah.
So any number was one of the games that we were going to debut Drew on. And any number is on what we call the turntable, or home base. Sometimes they call it home base, but this is a turntable. If you've watched the show, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The turntable literally spins around, and you can hide a model and prizes back there, and Bob can say, you know, tell them, or Drew can say, tell them what they want, and boom, it spins around. It's, you know.
Right.
Whatever. And so they told Drew about 10 times, okay, after we would do the game and finish it, let's reset. Drew, watch out for the turntable, because you can't step on it either, because you'll go right around with it.
Oh, okay.
There's a big circle there that you can't hardly see in the carpet.
Gotcha.
So you got to make sure you step back off of this circle before it spins around. And so they told Drew 100 times, Drew, be careful, step off it, you know, step back, you know, you turn on the essay, and watch your hands, because you get it caught in there, we cannot stop it. Wow. It's gonna do something, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, you know, we go through the whole morning, and Drew, being Drew, he's you know, he's a clown, and he's messing around. So he's got this big thing behind him, and they start spinning, and Drew's like, and everybody's like, no, Jesus, don't do that. And he'd get away with it, and he'd laugh, and we'd go on, and we'd rehearse. Sure. So, you know, we're rehearsing, we're going through the day, and
I think I know where this is going, but oh my gosh.
So, you know, we're doing wheel spins and everything, and then so we eventually decide, okay, well, you know, let's re-rack and let's do them all over again, and give Drew some more practice and so on and so forth. So we reset any number, and there it is again up on the stage, and we get going and everything.
Drew's still doing this, playing around.
Yeah, he's messing around, and so we get done with the game, and everything seems to be okay, and he's kind of all right. And all right, let's reset. And so they spin the turntable around, and Drew's doing that hand thing like he did. Yeah. And it caught his hand. He was trying to, you know, get his hand. It's just an errant shot of me during rehearsals wearing a brown shirt. Yeah. So there's the turntable, and you know, he's just messing around, and he's trying to get closer every time to make everybody go ooh, and it caught his hand, and then busted his wrist. Oh my God. Right then and there.
Broke his wrist?
First day of taping.
Oh my gosh.
Done did he do. And Drew kept saying all morning long, he was like, hey, what time's lunch? I got a big lunch meeting. I got a really important lunch meeting, you know. And they were like, oh, yeah, it's coming, you know, whatever, you know, 11:30, 12 o'clock, whatever. Okay, I can't miss this lunch meeting. It's something I've been working on for a long time. It's a big deal, so I can't miss it. And we're like, big deal? What could be bigger than getting the prices right? Well, with guys of, you know, the A-list stature that they are, they got big deals going, all kinds of big deals.
Yeah, he had to get to the emergency room.
At Cedars-Sinai, which is exactly what happened. So we all went to lunch, and Drew went to Cedars, and there he is. He come walking back in with a cast on his hand.
Oh my gosh. Missed his lunch, I'm assuming.
He did not.
He did not?
He did not. This lunch was so important, he went to Cedars-Sinai, got the cast on his hand, and went to lunch. And it was with a guy by the name of Joe Roth. Does that ring any bells for you? All the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Big producer, huge. I mean, As I understand it from Drew, Joe Roth, as a young man, as a student in New York, Joe Roth's father was the one that filed a lawsuit on behalf of Joe for not saying prayer in schools.
No kidding.
And so if you want to...
Oh, that's so interesting.
That's the guy.
Huh.
So
well,
now he's not, he became a big-time Hollywood producer.
Yeah, even though Drew went to the meeting, he did not get the lead role. Johnny Depp did.
That wasn't what it was about. He did get what he wanted.
Did he really?
Do you know what it was?
No.
Joe Roth had just purchased the Seattle Sounders.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Or was purchasing it.
Right.
And Drew wanted to get
yeah.
his hat in the ring and be a partial owner.
Yeah.
And said, hey, look, I may not have the money you have,
right.
Joe, but I can lend my, certainly a big chunk,
right.
and my celebrity and everything else, and I'll be the front man.
Yeah.
And Joe Roth thought that was a fantastic idea and took Drew on as a partner.
Yeah, team's done pretty well.
And yes, and it's done really well.
Yeah.
Really, really well. So,
yeah, I mean, I was in Seattle, and occasionally he would show up there for games, so.
I went to many of those games with Drew,
yeah.
So throughout the rest of the morning, all the rehearsals and everything was with Drew with the cast on his hand. Here we are, we're at Grocery Game now. And it could have been any number, it could have been Grocery Game. Frankly, I'm not sure which game it was that he was playing when he broke his hand, because both of them are on the turntable, as you can see there. But nonetheless, it was one of those two.
Was he embarrassed by that?
If he was, he didn't. He
kind of played it off.
Huh? Yeah, exactly right. So, as I mentioned, he went through the rest of the day trying to get through these games. And Rich, what do we have for Janice? And so,
that
anyway,
must have been painful. So, I mean, I assume you've got the turntable, a lot of moving pieces out there. There's the potential for these kind of mistakes to happen.
Oh yeah, and it's happened.
Yeah.
There have been mistakes. There have been people that got hurt.
But overall, pretty good track record?
Real good track record.
Yeah.
One of the models, I think it was Rachel Reynolds, once they can't start a car in the studios. The batteries are taken out. There's no gasoline allowed in them. So yeah, they literally get behind the cars and they shove them off. I had heard from an old stagehand that they used to have a rope and pull them on. Yeah, but I think they got rid of that really early because you could kind of see the rope, even if it was a white rope on a white floor.
Oh, sure.
But Rachel Reynolds, she came out and it was a yellow car. I think it was a Mustang or something. And a new car. And she comes out and she's waving to the camera and driving. And she thought she hit the brake and she hit the gas pedal. Not that there was it gave it, right, but it didn't stop, and it slammed into door 3. Behind the door was a stage manager named Doug Quick, and it broke his foot.
Oh, really?
The whole stage, just came crunching right into his foot.
So Doug was not as quick as he should have been.
Did you hear that, Doug? Doug lives here in Florida someplace, too. Yeah, so, people have been hurt, but they're very proud of their track record on Stage 33, that there weren't a lot of problems like that. There's a shot, and when it was all done and over, I said to Drew, hey Drew, let me get a photograph with you. No, I got this cast on. I said, no, that's why I want the photograph with you. And he's like, why? Why do you want a picture of me in my cast? And you guys, I've said this before, I don't know why I've ever done anything. I don't know why I've taken certain things. I don't know why I kept stuff. But here we are.
Yes.
Like, why did I keep a Drew Carey phone call? He's called me 1 billion times. He's left 1 billion messages. Why did I keep that one?
Yeah, well, it was the first one.
I guess maybe, but here we are. Now we're talking about the day Drew Carey busted his wrist and hand on The Price is Right. And when he heard that explanation, and I was like, I don't know. I actually said something like, I don't know, someday I may be talking about you breaking your hand and I might need the picture. And he was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Someday I might need to exploit you just a little bit.
I don't know, but anyway, okay.
Oh gosh. So I mean, it's a moving set, and
people have gotten hurt. Yes, and Drew got hurt the very first day.
Bob Barker got hurt once, didn't he, by a contestant?
Oh yeah, God yes. Oh, this big Samoan woman. Couple times. He's been hurt a couple times.
Yeah.
I mean, he told me that a Samoan woman, I don't know if it was the first one that attacked him, but he's told me that his back problems are really because of her. She took him by his waist, and jammed him into the floor like a jackhammer. She was jumping up and down with Bob, and
she was excited.
She was excited.
Yeah.
But just to show you, I mean, these are all. I don't know if you can tell the perspective of this, but that's the ceiling with lights up there.
Oh, wow.
Okay, and all these.
That's really a tall studio.
Oh, it's huge, and all these scrims, or we call them flies. Fly this in, fly that out.
I see. Are those done with pulleys?
Yes.
Okay.
Guys in back pulling them up.
Okay.
And the artwork has been redone and been repainted.
Sure.
But one of the cool things I thought was this. right in the middle of the screen, you see the word Drew.
Yes.
If you look closely, that's really a Price is Right name tag.
Right.
Okay. And it used to say Bob, and they did everything. They just updated everything for Drew. All the colors were updated. Everything was taken care of on the show, and I just thought that was impressive. That all summer these guys are just revamping all the studios and everything. So the first day we get there for a real show.
Yeah.
They decide, look, we need some publicity pictures of you, Drew. And so they made a little makeshift photo set for Drew. And normally you go upstairs at CBS. Normally you would go up to the photo department, and there's just huge, like a big studio, and there's huge walls of Price is Right stuff or whatever they want to shoot up there, and they just roll in these great big backdrops and everything, and you do these photo shoots. But I guess because they wanted to get these pictures out that first day that Drew was on, they kind of did it on the set with Drew that day, and so
did he not have the cast on any of these?
He took it off. Exactly right. He took it off for his first day of taping.
I see.
And at least these publicity pictures, because he knew they were going to hang around for a while. So, he's pretending to grab the wheel with the bad hand, but obviously, he can't.
Right.
And he's messing around and having a good time. So, which was a lot of fun with Drew. And here he is actually now in the middle of a show with real contestants playing for a real car, a new car. And it went splendidly. The taping went splendidly, and we moved on from there. But we were thick as thieves, man. We did a lot of stuff together, mostly soccer games, whether it was in Seattle or in LA to go to some of the LA games, or we all went to Buenos Aires to watch some of the soccer games in Buenos Aires, because Drew was just enamored with these two particular teams. And the rivalry these two teams had, he wanted to go down there and see them all.
Was he a big soccer fan before he got involved with the Seattle team? Okay.
When Drew left the Drew Carey show, when it was done and over and canceled or whatever happens, Drew was pretty much done. I mean, he became a photographer. And I think I might have mentioned this once. He became a sports photographer. And if you go on Getty Images, there are photographs from Drew, and it's all soccer.
No kidding.
It's all soccer. There are professional photographs from Drew Carey with his name on them, and still makes a penny or two when people use those photos.
I bet he does. Hey, question for you about that. So Drew Carey, I've just always been curious about the, have your pet spayed or neutered. Drew Carey continued that. Was that just a nod to Bob, or was that an agreement? You will do that?
Oh, I don't know about the legalities of it all in a contract, but I think it was more of a nod to Bob and stuff that people expected from the show. And pardon me, why would you drop it? I mean, it's such a worthwhile thing. I mean, when Bob found out that there were just so many animals in shelters and a fraction of them were being adopted and they were being euthanized, he said, how do we tackle this? And somebody from an organization said, Bob, if people would just spay and neuter their pets, that would cut down on it tremendously. And he was like, have your pets spayed and neutered.
Right.
So.
And he used that platform, that powerful platform that he had. Did he have a lot of pets at home?
He had a dog for many, many years. He had different dogs over the years. He had the rabbits. I told you about the rabbits. I don't know now. I haven't spoken with him since December of 19. But at that point, he still had the rabbits. So I mean, they brought him a lot of joy and a a lot of comfort. You know?
Sure. They did not have children, so.
Right. Exactly. Him and Dorothy Joe did not have children.
So those were their kids.
And if you're allergic to cats, I am. I think Bob was too. I think we talked about that. Rabbits were fairly allergy free.
I see.
And once his dog had passed away that he had for many, many years, he went and got a rabbit. He went and got rabbits. So I was talking about going to a lot of stuff with Drew, and here's just a couple of more pictures. I mean, him and I screwing around on the stage together. The bottom left-hand corner, that's Drew and I, along with our wives. You don't see him in the picture, or not his wife, but his fiancée at the time. At Eva Longoria's place on New Year's Eve of 2009, maybe. And then on the right, bottom lower right, that's Drew and I at a Super Bowl party in Las Vegas. I mean, so we were thick as thieves. It was quite the relationship.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he needed you because you had the history of the show, and I'm sure you could help kind of guide him through some questions that he might have. I know producers did that too, but you were a continuation of Bob Barker, and that was important at the time. Yeah,
as I understand it, when we have Roger on again, and he will be on, by the way, everybody. there was talk of possibly letting me go after Bob left.
I see.
Because they were trying to sanitize the show of anything that was Bob.
Sure.
They wanted to make it Drew Carey's show. And Mr. Barker still had some pull at the time. This is shortly after him leaving, and he somehow got word of it. It was through Roger that, hey, gosh, they're thinking about getting rid of Rich. Just getting a new voice, not so much getting rid of Rich, but getting a new voice and somebody that Drew could call his own. And Mr. Barker called CBS and said, that's suicide, don't do that. You're changing out the host, now you're going to change the voice, everything's going to be brand new, and you're going to have half of the people or more that aren't going to like it. At least keep the sound, the timbre, the
Right. Well, you got people in the door. I mean, you were the voice that got the show started.
Yeah,
right.
And I think it was a smart move. I mean, it was a good bridge between the two hosts.
Sure.
And it's cool. And you mentioned about being able to tell Drew certain things about the show, vagaries of games and so on and so forth. They're just the inner workings of the show. And that actually happened right after that first week of taping. I was coming down. It was after the last show of the week. Or excuse me, we had one more show to shoot. I was coming down the stairs from my dressing room, and Drew was going into his, and he stopped at the bottom of the stairs out of the top, and he says, "Hey, man, you want to go to Vegas tonight?" And I wasn't going to say no. I knew, oh my God, I'm not. I don't know if I'm ready to go to Vegas, but yeah. He goes, "You want to take your wife?" I said, I'll ask her. Yeah, take her. Let's all go to Vegas this weekend. He goes, I'm taking my niece. She's turning 21. I'm taking her and a bunch of her friends to Las Vegas for her 21st birthday. And he goes, and frankly, I don't know if I want to hang around with 6 other 21-year-old girls.
You want it more of a contemporary.
And they certainly don't want me hanging around the whole time. So, hey, come on, man, it'll be fun. So I said, yeah, okay, great. And I had to go out and do warm-up. I mean, they were playing the music already, and I thought, oh, man, oh, God, I need to call Christine somehow. So I couldn't wait to get done with the show. And I called Christine. I said, pack something. We're going to Las Vegas tonight. What? I said, well, she is not big on spontaneous stuff. Christine needs she needs some leeway. She needs some lag time. She needs to think about it. And I said, no, we're going to Las Vegas tonight with Drew. With Drew? Oh, okay. And here's the thing.
I need no lead time.
She said, Drew says to me, he says, look, I've chartered a jet out of Van Nuys Airport, and we're all leaving at such and such a time. He goes, the only caveat to this is you got to get yourself to Vegas. I can bring you back on the jet, because going, we got a full jet. Coming back, a couple of the girls are going someplace else, and the seats are going to be open. So you can come back on the jet. You just got to get there. So I said to my wife, I said, pack, and by the way, get us to Vegas tonight. She's like, when are we leaving? What day? I said, I don't know, but don't worry about the round trip. Drew's bringing us back on the jet. Drew traveled first class, man. I mean, if there are 3 levels of jets to get, Drew gets this one. He travel with Drew is pretty cool, man.
Yeah, I bet. So your flight over was more pedestrian. It was what you were used to.
Yes. But we knew, we're number one, we're going to spend the weekend gambling with Drew Carey. I mean,
is he a gambler?
Oh my God.
Is he?
He's a whale. Any Vegas casino would love to have Drew Carey. He's what I would call a whale. I'm sure there's Saudi princes and stuff like that may bet more.
Does he win?
Like you wouldn't believe, Dave.
Really?
Like you would not believe.
Wow.
Crazy winner. Crazy winner.
I do not have the guts to do that. That scares me to death.
And it's everything you hear about.
Or the money.
Right. It's everything you hear about in the movies, and I doubt highly when Drew checked in, he said, look, and by the way, put this $100,000 in my account. I don't think that ever happened, but because when we sat down, we don't sit out in the casino. We go into the high rollers room, and then there's a whole nother section of private tables, and so that's where Drew would be.
So did you gamble yourself when you were with him?
Yeah.
I mean, what piddly bet did you put
Oh, that's the thing. Well, So we sit down at this table. They say, "Oh, Mr. Carey, right this way. We've got a table for you back here." You know. Oh, great, thanks.
And Mr. Fields, you'll need to leave.
Well, I was like, Drew, do we? You know, he was like, yeah, come on. And so we sit down, and Drew will say to the dealer, cash me in $30,000. And okay, sure. And he just takes $100, $1,000 chips, and he starts putting them in front of Drew. And then Drew said right away to the the minimum on the table was $1,000.
Yeah.
Not $1, not $2, not $5, which is hard to find in Vegas. Not even $10, which is still hard to find in Vegas. Yeah. It was $1,000 minimum. And I said, "Oh my God, Drew, I can't sit down." He says to the dealer, he says, "Hey, they can bet whatever they want, okay? I'm going to make up for it. Mr. Carey, whoever your guest is fine with us, whatever." So I would bet, $5, $10, like I would on a normal hand. And Drew is betting, if there's 5 open slots at the table and Christine has one and I have one, he's filling up the other 3, and he doesn't go in at $1,000 minimum. He'll go in at 2, 3, 5 a hand. 8s, splits them. Another $5,000. You know what I mean? Just
gosh.
Boom, 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 and the dealer finally says, "Up, 18 for me. What do you have? 20 there, 19 there, 19 there. 3 winner all the way across, Mr. Carey. Very good. How about you folks over here? Nope. You you had 17, Mr. Fields. I'm sorry, Mrs. Fields. 16. Nope, that's not going to do it.
Sorry, I'll take your $5.
So one time, I don't even remember if it was this time, but one time I wanted to play craps, and Drew is not a craps player. I love craps. I've always been lucky at craps, and I wanted to go play a craps table. I kept hearing the noise. Yeah. And to me, when I hear noise at a table and there's action, I want to go and I want to play at that table.
Oh, yeah.
So I said to Drew, "Come on, man. No, that's you. That's not for me. Craps isn't me. This is me right here." I said to Christine, I said, "Do you want to come with me? You want to sit here with Drew? I'm going to go play craps." And she said, "No, I'll sit here," because she's not a big gambler, right?
Yeah, sure.
So maybe an hour later, come on, 7, and Christine comes walking up, and I said, "How'd you do?" "I lost everything." She said, "I had to get out of there." She goes, "But Drew gave me this." And it was $1,000 chips.
Oh my God!
I said, "You take that right back. You take that right back to him." I did. I gave it back to him 5 times. He kept sticking it in my purse, sticking it in my pocket. He said, "There's no way I'm letting you lose gambling with me here in Vegas." And I even took him from Christine. And the first time I saw Drew, I said, no, bullshit, that's hers. She's going to buy a fucking purse with that, or shoes. That's not for you to give back to me. He was kind of like indignant. That's hers. That's a gift to her from me.
How about that?
And I was like,
and so you asked him to sign them?
I just happen to have those chips with me.
You do not, do you?
No, but that would have been good.
Oh my God.
That would have been good. So I mentioned that we went to Buenos Aires, and I brought this picture because this is me, Drew, and Christine in front of the Peabody, or was it the Peabody we stayed at?
It's Four Seasons.
Four Seasons, thank you very much. I knew it was an expensive hotel. And the guy, the tall guy there standing next to me, his name is Death.
Death?
Yeah.
It's a pretty name.
Drew bought Death through American Express.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Did he, from his gambling winnings?
Well, no. I guess when and people who are wealthy, you know this. I just had never dealt with it in my life. When you're like a black card, is it American Express Black Card? When you're a Black Card member of American Express, you tell them, you don't do anything. You're like, okay, look, I want to go to Buenos Aires, Argentina. I want to go for 10 days. I want, let's see, me, my fiance, 2 others. Okay, so you make it for 4 people. Yeah. I want it nonstop, and I want to stay at the best hotel possible. Oh, and I want to see the soccer game on such and such a date that it's impossible to get tickets for. And these people line up everything.
Oh, sure.
They get it done. Yeah. Because people like Drew don't care what it costs. Right. And so American Express just says, how much are those tickets to the Boca Plate soccer game? $2,000 a piece? Yeah. Okay, yeah, we'll take 4.
Wow.
And
amazing.
And it's done.
Wow.
So this guy, Death, he is our bodyguard. Because the place we're going to go see this soccer game in is like the worst part of Buenos Aires.
He looks like he could protect you.
He, Death was a, and you know what, I hope I'm not getting him in trouble, but Death, let me back this up one. Death was a Hell's Angel that had gotten into some trouble in the States, and he couldn't go back. I don't know what he did, but...
Did you tell me he looked like Death? Warmed over?
No, I did not. I befriended him and made sure I was as close to him as I could possibly be. Yeah. So
he protected you guys.
So yeah, he was I almost said gun-toting, but I'm sure he had a weapon on him the whole time, and he knew all the cops, and he knew everybody. When we got to the stadium, he knew the guys at the door. I mean, he was really connected, this guy. So Death. All right, Death. He was really good.
I've never met somebody named Death.
I hope I don't, frankly. This is, I said to Drew and his fiancée Nicole at the time, I said, look, this is like one of our last days in Argentina. I said, look, Christine and I want to take you guys out to dinner. No. I said, look, you've been paying for everything, please, just let us. Yeah. So this is our, one of the last nights in Argentina.
So this is at the McDonald's there?
This is a restaurant right next to the President's Palace.
Oh, wow.
In
so nice
Buenos Aires. It was nice, yeah. Well, you kind of got to ask, hey, where can we get like a good steak? And they'd be like, American steak or Buenos Aires? And we're like, American, something that's going to be good to us. And not that the food in Buenos Aires was bad, but you can run into, not so great stuff. And so, I think it was Death or a guy at the hotel that Death turned me on to, said, oh, you need to go right over here at this place that's very Americanized, you'll dig it, blah, blah, blah. So that's Drew and I and Christine and Nicole out at dinner in Buenos Aires. And they took us to one other dinner, by the way. They took, these are photos from the Argentine National Soccer Club's coach.
Oh, wow.
Coach's house, or president's house. And it was a massive table.
Did they know Drew previously?
Yes, they somehow had a hookup,
yeah.
And this was one of the reasons Drew was going to go there, and meet these people as well. And hey, I'm getting in with the Seattle Sounders, and so it's hard to see. And we aren't the only four at this table. There's probably 16 or 20 people. It was a massive table, but whoever was taking these pictures at the time just happened to get this sort of end of the table where Drew and I happened to be. But oh man, let me tell you something. At this guy's house, it was. Everything you hear about, like Brazilian or Argentinian or any South American meat, he had an outdoor barbecue that was massive. And so maybe there were 20 of us. You would think he was feeding a ranch of maybe 40 cattle hands or something. Massive pieces of meat all across this thing. Everything you could, any kind of cut or piece of meat you could think of was being cooked on this grill for us. And it was really cool. It was yummy.
I bet.
It was like those places where you go to and they come out with the sword and all the meat on it, and they peel off a couple of things.
Right.
It's like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's just
that is so cool.
Just a lot of meat, a lot of food. It was a lot of fun.
Well, it sounds like a nice weekend.
We did. It was 10 days. It was a long time. We were in Argentina a long time, over a week. That's for sure. About 10 days, I think it was.
Sorry, when was this, approximately?
Oh boy, I'd have to say the end of Drew's first season. So that would have been end of 07.
Okay.
No wait. 08, end of 08 would have been the end of his first season. Yeah. And like I said, I mean, we went everywhere. I mean, again, this is all four of us. The picture's out of sync, but I mentioned Eva Longoria's place on New Year's Eve, so that's a picture of all four of us. See my goatee, by the way?
Oh yeah, I see it there.
Yeah, and Drew, by the way, he was starting to grow a little facial hair, and it was this night that he said to me, he said, hey man, let's, everything starts with hey man with Drew. Hey man, don't shave when we go back to work, from the Christmas break, from the New Year's break. Right. Don't shave, because I'm gonna let mine grow in, and we're gonna come back with goatees, okay? I said, okay, sounds great, sounds like a good time. So some of you may have seen an episode where Drew makes a big deal about my goatee and his goatee. Yeah. And just a little aside for folks that are watching and know about the shenanigans of Mikey, and everybody knows who I'm talking about, I came in that very first day to tape for after the Christmas holiday, and Mike Richards, the new executive producer, sees me and he says, "What's this?" And I said, "Oh, Drew and I, we grew beards over the break. We're both going to wear them in this show. It'd be funny." And he's like, Either you shave it right now or you wear it the entire season you're here.
Oh my gosh.
I said, get the F out of here. I used the real word in front of him. Get the F out of here. I'm deadly serious.
Huh.
Either you shave it right now or you go the whole season with it. I don't know what I said to get out of there, but I went to Drew's dressing room. I said, hey, your buddy Mikey just told me I have to shave or wear it the whole season. What? Do what you want to do. So I went out, whipped it on, and Drew made a big deal about it, and I was in the showcase for some kind of prize. Oh, we were giving away a huge flat-screen TV, and so the director, knowing I had this new thing on me in rehearsal earlier the morning, before Mikey ever said anything, says, "Oh, we're going to put you in the picture of the big screen as you read your copy." You know what I mean? So there's an episode out there, and people know what I'm talking about. And next week I'll bring a picture from it so you can see it. But as soon as it was over, I went home and shaved. Yeah. There was no way I was keeping it the whole. Drew never did, though. I think Drew pretty much kept his.
What was his beef with you? I mean, and having the
more handsome, more talented. I don't know. I'm kidding. I'm just making things up.
Sure.
I'm not here to degrade Mike. I'm not. I don't know. Yeah. When he did his audition to be the host, this was one of the C people I talk about. That nobody had any.
What was his background? What did he do before that?
He had produced.
But he had never hosted.
Nothing. No, certainly nothing nationally. Nothing that I know. He was the executive producer of a reboot of, and you're saying it right now. I know you are. What was the lady's name in black? No, answer's wrong. Get off the stage.
Weakest Link.
Weakest Link. The reboot of Weakest Link, which George Gray was the host of.
Okay, yeah.
So that's the association between those two. So when Mikey finally gets everybody to agree that Rich is gone, and the experiment with Drew's improv buddies didn't work out as announcers, he brings in George Gray.
Oh, interesting.
So a little incestuous.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's Hollywood.
Well, I'm sure. Yeah.
That's how it goes. So,
makes sense.
I mean, I'm not saying there was anything wrong with it. I'm just saying that's all that tied in. So this ends up being the last photograph of Drew Carey and I ever.
Wow.
This was at the rap party, 2010, and I already knew that I was gone.
Yeah.
I had already accepted the CBS 2 meteorology position.
I see.
And I went there, and I'm happy in the picture because, I mean, I just accepted it.
You just put on a good face, too, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, it hurt, but it didn't hurt as much as not having a job might have hurt.
Right.
You know, and I don't know what Mikey's drive and determination was in getting rid of me, but he wanted to cause a problem, and he did. You know, it was certainly a problem for Christine and I. But I mean, I got picked up right away, so it didn't. It didn't matter.
But that's got to be tough. That was your lifelong ambition to be.
And there. He knew that. Yeah. And he knew that. And oh, by the way, I started to say, so during his audition, Mike Richards' auditions, I was as nice as could be with him. I mean, as giving as I could. During stop downs or whatever, if they had to reset something, I was over, letting them know, hey, you're doing a great job, And he was saying, what should I do here? Anything I can do different? And I think I might have told him the 3 audience rule. One of the few people, other than Drew, that I ever shared that with. And what does he do in the end? I mean, why? Why? It makes 0 sense.
Right.
So.
Right. Well, we all know what happened later on.
We do indeed. We do indeed.
Can we talk about? I know we don't have too much more time. Do you have anything else to show? Any other pictures?
No.
Okay. No. Let's talk about. Everybody wants to be, not everybody, but an awful lot of people want to be on game shows.
Yes.
Well,
and,
we see these game shows out there these days. It's tough enough to get audience tickets, but how about being a contestant?
Yes.
How do you become that? And are there opportunities available for
Yes.
people?
And I was able to get a hold of a producer at the Game Show Network.
Okay.
And they are casting for a new show. And I thought our audience might be very interested in it. Actually, it's done a season, but it's really not caught on, and not a whole lot of folks may know about it. But the show is called Tug of Words.
Okay.
And she sent me little piece of artwork here, and I'll let you read the post. This is from Jody Wolford, and here's what Jody says.
Okay, she says, hey guys, excited to be part of this group. I'm currently a casting producer on season 2 of the hit game show Tug of Words and wanted to spread the word.
Season 2, okay, so yeah.
Season 2. If you're within driving distance of Los Angeles and love word puzzles, then this is the show for you. It's a ton of fun. All you need is a partner, friend, family, spouse, coworker, etc. Please don't hesitate to DM with any questions. I hope to help you win $10,000. Wow.
Yeah. So they're looking for contestants right now. If you're watching right now on the podcast and you're interested, I know the fine print there is really hard to read. You can still store it and get that link off there. But I will share with you this. I've blown up the QR code for you. So I will leave this up on the screen for a few seconds if you want to pull out your camera phone and scan that right now. It will take you to the sign-up form, and you will be able to get your name in to be a contestant on Tug of Words on the Game Show Network.
That's cool. And this is a relatively new game show, so you may be unfamiliar with it, but if you're good at wordplay, this might be for you.
Exactly right. All you need is one other person. I mean, it's not like a whole family or something like that.
Right.
You got to get together. Just get a friend, a buddy, a brother, a sister. It doesn't matter.
Sure, somebody who's super into that kind of thing. Let's maybe take some questions. Do we have time?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Let's do it. Okay, let's take this one. This is from Jake Herrick. Can't wait, Rich Fields.
He's responding to me posting that Drew Carey episode's coming up.
Gotcha. What was your favorite part of TPIR, Jake?
There's many levels to that.
Yeah.
Number one was getting it.
Yeah, I bet.
Lifelong dream come true.
Yes.
So getting the gig was probably my favorite thing. After that, and this sounds so hokey, but it was the people I got to work with.
Sure. Yeah.
The stage hands, the grips, the prop people, the models, Bob, Drew,
Just the whole
Roger,
experience,
Kathy.
all those people.
They were all so sweet. I mean, I know they never gave me a sweetness test.
Yeah.
Maybe auditions were that. Maybe that's what part of that auditioning
Sure.
is. To see how you really are in life. But everyone was like me, sweet as pie.
Oh, that's it.
So they're really agree. When I was done and already over at CBS 2 Los Angeles and KCAL 9, and I started over there doing mornings like for maybe the first couple of years.
Right.
When I thought back on The Price is Right, the thing I would miss would be going to work to see everybody.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As hokey as that sounds.
No, I get it.
Do you?
You become family. I mean, you spend more time, oftentimes, with those folks than you do sometimes your own family.
Absolutely right. I'm spending 9-10 hours a day with these people. I go home to Christine, certainly it's dinner time, and then you go to bed, and we might be together for sleeping 8 hours, but then, so I've spent 3 hours with her from dinner to bed, and then maybe another 2 hours when I get up in the morning. So that's 5 hours with her, and I spend 10 with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So it's nutty.
Yeah, it is.
It's crazy.
That's work life.
That is work life.
We have something from Austin Shorts here, a question from Austin Shorts here. He says, I'd like to see the rest of the backstage video of Bob Barker's last show.
You know what? I responded to Austin online and I said, how did you know there was more video? Because do you remember that taping day? We actually that was one of our shortest podcasts ever. We had some other stuff going on and we kind of got in and got out on that show. And I was like, how did you know there was more? Yeah. And he wrote back and he said, because
we showed it a bit?
Well, did we?
No, maybe we did. We not show a piece of it?
Did it roll?
I don't know if we did.
I don't remember now. But anyway, he responded back and he said, "Oh, I was watching the timestamp on the video as you were rolling it, and it said the whole video was 37 some minutes, and you only showed 22 minutes." I said, "Well, bright kid. You're a game show detective, Austin."
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of jumped around a little bit from section to section.
Yeah.
Well, we got a detective on our hands in Austin there. This is from Sam Christie. Rich Fields, is that true that Bob is cut off of everybody now? Basically, is Bob not communicating with people he had relationships with?
I'm assuming maybe Sam didn't see the episode where we talked about it, and that's okay. You can go back and watch it later. But yes, Sam, we confirmed it with Roger. I knew I hadn't talked with Bob since I called him on his birthday on the radio on Q105 in Tampa. That would have been December 19th of 2019. I always got to think about it. And one of the cool things at the end of that phone call, the last time I talked to Bob, I said, hey, Mr. Barker, I just want you to know that I know you don't have a computer or even a cell phone, but I just want you to know the fans out there, they love you and they miss you.
Yeah.
And he said, that's heartwarming or something like that. So that was the last thing I said to Bob. It was really on behalf of everybody out there.
Sure.
And then Roger confirmed that he had not spoken to Bob, and he intimated that it was even before that. I don't know. We'll have to ask Roger when the last time he spoke with Bob, but December of 2019 for me, and then phone numbers were all disconnected. And his handlers, the people that are taking care of him now in his decaying state, are protecting him, I'm sure.
Right, absolutely. I mean, that happens to a lot of people or family members, or in his case, perhaps people who have his best interest trying to protect him.
Yeah, I get it.
He's upper 90s, right?
Yeah. He'll be what, 99 this year?
Wow.
99 on December 19th.
Life,
Yeah.
Well, we've got something from Morgan here. Morgan Nye, are you returning the Prices Right and Wheel of Fortune now? Yes, Rich, that's a question for you.
Well, I've been keeping this. I wanted to announce it here on the show.
And it's, we're doing it late in the show, but this is a big announcement, ladies and gentlemen. Rich Fields.
No.
What?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not going back out. No, I'm done.
There are not nearly as many game shows to host these days.
Yeah, or announce for, you're right.
Yeah,
or
to announce. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, they tried dragging up, mid-season replacements of Pyramid and Match Game and stuff like that, but they're not, what's the word, serial shows. They're not like all year long types of shows like there used to be in the old days. So.
And as Roger said, the shows, in his opinion, Roger, who was with Price is Right for many years, believes these shows are very different, and these are more kind of staged. They're scripted.
Yeah.
It's not just that free flow of kind of audience interacting and all this.
Right.
So he sees a big difference.
Huge difference.
Yeah. Well, this has been fun.
Good episode.
Lot of fun. Yeah. Hey, let's remind people.
Yes.
You can.
Right. Please. I know what you're going to talk about.
Podcast listeners.
Yes.
You can listen to this. Spotify, Apple Music. And if you want to see photos, videos, anything we've shown here, mentioned on this episode, you can go to our Facebook page, which is really good.
We try to repost everything there, or as much as we can there. I mean, it gets kind of tedious.
Yep, Facebook.com/Come On Down Podcast. And always our Tampa Bay YouTube page here.
Yes.
You can always look at that too.
Right, and we're on more than Spotify and Apple Music, whatever your podcast provider is. Number one, thanks for listening. We appreciate that. But go and watch the episodes because you're missing a lot.
Yeah.
So, just go to YouTube and search 10 Tampa Bay. And you can watch all the past episodes there.
All right.
A lot of fun.
It's been great having you here. Thank you for the questions. Keep those coming. We love it. It's great to hear from you. We've got a lot of interesting things coming up.
We do. We're very close, by the way. I just heard from engineering. We're very close to having our live guests back on.
Okay.
So, and we have a lot of them lined up. I went through a couple of them last week. So you're gonna love it.
I know.
There
are some really good ones. I think everybody's gonna be really interested. And we'll surprise you from week to week to week.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have Roger back on too.
And if anybody knows Janice Pennington, I've been in contact with her. We've sent her emails. We've sent her letters. We know she's gotten them. If anybody knows Janice, put in a good word for us. She doesn't do TV. She doesn't do podcasts. She doesn't want to live in the past. But just encourage her.
We'd love
last time, Janice, you'll ever have to be on anything. The last time you need to tell the story. Right here.
We'll be very good to you if you decide to come on. We'd love to have you, Janice.
All right, good.
Well, it's great being here today. It's always great having Rich here. It wouldn't be a show without him. We hope you'll join us next week for another episode of
Come On Down.
Thanks for tuning in to Come On Down with Rich Fields. See more photos and videos mentioned on this episode. Plus, interact with Rich on Facebook at facebook.com/ComeOnDownPodcast or on Twitter at ComeOnDownPod. Have a question for Rich? Use Facebook Messenger to connect on our Come On Down Podcast Facebook page. And remember, new episodes are live every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern.